Chris Megan fishing along the Elizabeth Islands. Oh, no way. That is a gorgeous fish.
They are all beauties.
Early September brings the warmest water temperatures of the year to southern New England. Plumes of warm water spin off the Gulf Stream and move toward the coast, bringing with them a variety of pelagic fish. When Chris Megan and I left Falmouth Harbor early one September morning, we had our sights set on some warm water that had moved into an area 40 miles south of Martha's Vineyard, known as the Dump. On our buddy boat was Captain Shaun Ruge of Riptide Charters. Shaun had been fishing these waters for the past week, using light tackle and fly rods to catch the beautiful and hard-fighting mahi-mahi.
Welcome to another episode of On the Water Magazine. It's an angling adventure. Jimmy Fee, Chris Megan out here on a day trip about 60 miles out of Falmouth. We're going to be fishing lobster pods from Mahi. Jimmy, as soon as we pulled up,
There's a huge school of them right here. We're hoping to get one to the boat now.
so what we're going to be doing, looking for these high flyers in the pods. Jimmy, let's get on. I want to see if I can pull one in and then get you started. Jimmy, you going to be okay backhander?
Yeah.
That's right on it, Jim. I love when you, there we go. That's a nice fish right there. Look at him coming out of the water. Jimmy, boy, that guy was right on it.
Yeah, he's got a couple buddies with him.
These fish are real school fish, and the colors on these things, a lot of times what we used to do, when you fish down south, put one in the rod holder and leave it there, because you can see how electric this fish is right now. Jimmy's gonna be on one in a second. I can see them. There you go, Jimmy, that'll do it.
There he is.
There he is, I can see, oh, that's great. All right, so we're doubled up right now. Jim Fee, our editor of On the Water Magazine, is on a nice mahi on the fly rod, which is so cool. And I've got a little bit better than a chicken mahi on here. These are tremendous eating. When you got that one away from the boat, I could see the thing just coming up on it.
Oh, it was immediate.
Jim, I'm gonna walk right underneath you.
Okay.
See if we can.
Little mahi tango?
Yeah.
There's got to be at least 2 dozen right down there.
They're coming right in the boat because of that attitude.
Oop. Well, fly popped off right at the boat, but I got a great fight out of him, and I've got a feeling we're going to get plenty to take home.
This is what you can expect out here. Although the word on the street is Shaun Ruge got one for one of his clients, 31 pounds the other day on the fly rod. So we're looking for the same. Guys, mahi fishing, when it happens, it's exciting. And we were sitting on top of that thing. So we're gonna go up and make another pass, fish this for a little bit, Jimmy, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Absolutely.
So Jimmy, we just left this lobster buoy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use our electronics to go ahead and see if we can help narrow the search. I've got on this side the chart on my Simrad, and on this side I'm running a little bit of radar, and I can see from looking at the radar, each one of these right now is a lobster buoy. So looks like I have one about a quarter mile off, and we're gonna go ahead and steam over to it.
That metal part on the top of the lobster pot buoy, that high flyer, that's designed to pick up the radar, so when these fishermen come and find their lobster pots, they can pick it up. But we use it to our advantage to find them to catch the mahi around.
So Jimmy's out on the bow right now. I'm gonna cast into these things with the spinning, see if I can hook up a fish. We got 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, and we have probably a 30-pound main line. I think I have spider wire on there for the braid. So we got the buoy right there. I'm gonna throw one above it, see if I can hook up.
We're in mid-September right now. The water temperatures are at their warmest point of the year. That brings the mahi and some other pelagic species inside of the canyons and within reach of smaller boats like this, so you can go out for a day trip and catch them on light tackle.
I'm playing with fire now, ripping it through there.
I'm not seeing any. Oh, there they go. There he is, little guy. There he is.
Right underneath. There you go, Jim, huh? There you go.
Look at this guy. Well, just got to start somewhere, right?
Oh, there he is. Boy, they don't go far.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to give them a little time to regroup, and they'll form those big schools right near the pot again.
Right there. Oh, look at the slashing going on.
Here we go.
Jim, you got him?
I do.
Is he an eater?
Whoop. Now that's a little guy there, but still a lot of fun on the fly rod. He hit just a little clouser minnow.
There he goes. Maybe a little bit bigger on the outside. Boy, he's right on the bow, Jimmy. I'm going to try to walk him over to you.
All right, here we go, Chris.
Look at that. So much fun out here. You got him, Jim?
I do, yep. There we go.
Perfect size for the dinner table right there. Although, you know, a big 35-pounder wouldn't be bad either. One of the things that we're doing out here, I got the spinning gear. I'm throwing just a little jig head with a little pink skirt on it. I'm going with a single hook, not real heavy. You don't have to have the trebles. More trebles, more hooks you got to pull out. Jimmy, you're on the fly rod.
Yeah, most of these fish are right around 5 pounds. You might encounter a bigger one, but I've just got a 9-weight fly rod. It's got plenty of backbone to get them in, but it's also a lot of fun to fight them on it.
You don't need the 11 weight or anything bigger than that right now. Even one, that rod will have no problem if you get on a 20-pound fish.
Yeah, these are good fish to harvest because, for one, they mature really quickly. They spawn throughout the year. So if you're going to take a fish home to eat, never feel bad about keeping a mahi-mahi.
We're out here today in a 25 tournament contender. Our captain running with us, Shaun Ruge, is on a 23 Seacraft. Biggest thing you do is you can come out here in a smaller boat, but you got to be smart about the weather, and then you can bring the crew out here. Great fishing for the family because the action usually when you get into them is hot and heavy. Jimmy, I'm going to go ahead and pull us around and see if we can't get back on these fish.
Sounds good. The mahi never ventured far from the high flyers, so we had to constantly reset our drift, being careful not to drive too close and risk spooking the school.
Right now, guys, we're fishing what they call the dump, and it's got its name from where they used to drop unexploded ordnance, and basically everything back during World War II in Korea used to end up in these waters. What they used to do was out of either Otis or down in Rhode Island, the military bases, they'd come down in here, and come out here and they'd drop all sorts of bombs. For the most part, they'd all go off. Every once in a while, though, you'd end up having some that went to the bottom. Those are sitting on the bottom. Fortunately, right now, I'm not concerned about that. We're fishing the surface. So what we're gonna do right now is pulling back up on this lobster buoy and seeing if we can't pick up some more fish. All right, what you're hearing is the telltales.
There he is.
Yeah, Jim, huh? Jimmy just got him on the fly rod.
They got him off. My guy spit it. Nope, no he didn't. No he didn't. He just changed direction.
I'm over the top of you.
Yep, they're all around it, Chris.
I'm gonna let this guy sink and just pop him right in. Jimmy, you still see him behind you?
Not right. I can't see my fish right now. He's down under the boat.
Is he behind the engine? Let me clear that line.
We're good.
That's called working it right there, Jim. Look at that.
It's been about 5 minutes since we showed up at lobster pot number 4, and I think that we struck gold again.
You're gonna bring him right into the boat. Jim, you got him?
Got him. So this is a mahi on the fly rod right in New England, kind of a unique opportunity, and it's just a whole lot of fun.
You can see what they're feeding on right here. This lobster buoy holds little bait, and these guys come in and they love the sea life around it. That's where they're eating. Well, let's get him on ice. That's a good eating fish right there. See over my left shoulder, we got the lobster buoy set in here. Choose your weather day, and even if the weather is perfect, choose a buddy boat. Our buddy boat today is Captain Shaun Ruge on a 23 Seacraft, good friend of the OTW crew. He was out here all last week and this week, getting into these mahi on the structure. So, beautiful boat, works for Navionics, and he also is a great captain.
These fish are pretty aggressive, so we're going to switch over to some topwater. This is just a little spook. It's a freshwater lure, but it's plenty big enough for the fish out here. Most of them anyway. So we'll give this a couple of casts. See if we can get them to come up and bang it on the surface. Come on, there we go. They're behind it. There he is. All right, putting on a pretty good show. He's about done. He's about done. This is the mahi down southeast corner of the dump on the high flyers. We're down here with On the Water, and we're having a ball. Take it easy.
So we just made our first pass on this. There's a ton of mahi on it. So what I'm going to do is come up on the port side, keeping it on the port. Captain Shaun Ruge is going to keep it on the starboard side. See if we can't pull some more fish off of this. We've got some good marks between anywhere from 25 feet down to about 45 feet. So what we're going to try to do is see if Jimmy can drop some squid down on top of these guys.
So the mahi will get a little bit shy around lures once you catch enough of them. So we brought some fresh squid out here. This is just a typical fluke rig. I'm going to drop down and see if a little bait turns the bite back on.
So we're marking all sorts of fish right now. I get some bait all over the surface, from 15 feet all the way down. They're stacked right here. Oh, there you go. All right. This is called the Mahi Dance of Death. I'm going to go ahead and take this one because it seems like a bigger fish.
Yeah, this one was just the bait rod we had sitting out there.
Oh, that's nice right there.
If you leave one in the water, you see it gets the rest of the school all excited, ready to bite, as soon as you pull your lure through there.
This is called Mahi Heaven right here.
Well, Mahi Madness. There you go. Pretty typical of what we've been catching today.
So this guy is swimming good. There's a big mahi out behind that one.
I pitched one bait out there and then took a cast, and it was pretty immediate.
This guy's staying down. Nice fish. So this is a single hook with a squid on it. Did this have any weight on it?
Yeah, we had a small egg
Just
sinker
a little egg
there.
sinker to get it down. Oh, I'm going to bring him over to you.
He's a really strong acrobatic fish, Chris. Just an absolute blast to catch.
I think they're even better eating. Blackened mahi on the grill, nothing like it.
Yeah, but just when you think these fish are done, they've got another run like that in them.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It's one of the bigger ones we had today, Chris.
Yeah,
it's a nice fish.
There you go. Bail's flipped.
All right.
Nice fish, beautiful. Huh?
Yeah, Chris. It's a little bit bigger than most of the ones we've been catching. And this one fell for a piece of squid. We drifted a little bit deeper, right by that pond.
Beautiful female there.
Yeah, that blue on them, Chris, it's almost electric.
Yeah, it
Those
is.
little blue spots.
It's funny, the more they're out of the water, these blue dots on the side will start turning black. That's a beautiful fish. Let's pop the hook, guys. Hey, when you come back, we'll be set up on another drift. See if we can't tie into something bigger. Hang on with us. I got a mark right here on the radar, which we picked up from about a half mile out, which ends up being one of the high flyer radar reflectors. And so we're set up right now for a drift. Jim just picked one up. I'm going to try to jump on the fly rod, see if Jim can pull them in.
Nice. And that thing
See him?
bombs. Oh,
Right
yeah.
there. Oh, yeah, there he is. Come on. Tight.
So many of them.
Jim, look at that, huh? Beautiful.
Look at them all chasing each
all
other.
lit up right now.
Yeah, that's why they say if you leave one in the water, you see it gets the rest of the school all excited, ready to bite, as soon as you pull your lure through there. Oh. Little peanut mahi.
Gonna let this guy drift down a little bit.
This tackle that I'm using today is really basically just my schoolie striper setup. It's a little Van Staal 150, light action G Loomis rod, and we're using pretty much the same lures we use for schoolie stripers. This is a little Tsunami soft plastic. Looks like a little minnow, which is pretty much what the mahi are feeding on around these lobster pots. That seems to be working.
These fish have been down a little bit deeper. I'm gonna let the boat do the work here and see if I can't drop this guy down. And if we don't do anything on this drift, see about another 200, 300 yards up is another high fly we can go work. I'm just gonna strip some line out. And actually go ahead and see if we can't troll this guy back a little bit. There it is, right there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, I was just letting that drop.
Oh boy. I got a big one on. That's a nice one.
Doubled up. Whoa, did you get one underneath you?
Oh,
Awesome. Look at the fish around these guys.
Chris, there's probably 50 fish around that.
As you can see right here, guys, we're just off of the lobster pot. And we're only about 55, 60 miles south of the Vineyard. Probably about 2-3 foot chop, not bad at all. Ran out. Oh, look at that guy, huh? Jim, that's a nice fish.
That's a real nice fish. Yeah, most of these fish are about 5-pounders, you know, maybe 3 to 5 pounders, but you never know when a better one's going to be mixed in. And most of the time I catch mahi, it's on heavy tuna gear, so you don't get a real appreciation for how strong these fish are. But you hook one on light tackle, man, it's a blast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Little dance right here.
Perfect. Look at him just peeling away. That's a nice fish. Oh, big bull. All right, let me nail this guy and I'll give you a hand, okay? This guy looks like he's done. Yeah, I got a real nice fish here. This is like a little chicken sandwich compared to what Jim's got on right now. But what's cool about this, I got him on the fly rod, which is really neat. And on the first pass, Jimmy had the fly rod. What he did is he let it drop down, so he gave me some good insight there. I'm gonna get this guy off, get him on ice, and I'm gonna give you a hand because I don't want to lose that one. That's a real nice bull yab.
Oh, oh. Every time he gets close.
So let me take a look, Jimmy. All right, I'll get him here. I'm just trying to get him in the head. Oh, that's awesome.
Almost did it for us.
Well, let me take a look, Jimmy. I saw it come out of the water. I knew it was a beast.
This is the rod I use for schoolie stripers, for weak fish and stuff. And I've got a big pelagic fish on here.
If we can walk in toward the stern, it'll give me a better shot. But we're using real light tackle for these fish. We're getting those 5 and 6 pound kind of chicken mahi, but all of a sudden, every once in a while, you jump into a fish that Jim's got on right now.
Got him, got him. There you go. One way to do it.
Get him in the boat, Jimmy. We had a couple of 4, 5, 6 pounders in there, and then all of a sudden this guy came into the
Yeah,
boat.
we were hooking those smaller fish. I hooked up, and then the drag just started screaming, and this guy came 6 feet into the air.
That's why they call them the Scottie Pippins.
That's why they're the Scottie Pippins of the ocean.
You know, most of the time when we're mahi fishing, we're off of Florida somewhere. We're down in warmer water and warmer weather. But to be able to come out here on a day trip out of Falmouth, Mass, and get into real beautiful mahi on light tackle like this, Jim, real treat.
World class.
I thought I saw triggerfish in the mix there too.
Oh, they might have been. You're watching On the Water TV.
Guys, when you come back from this commercial, we hope to have one. Maybe not bigger, but in the same class. Let's get this guy on ice.
The high flyers are a haven for marine life, from triggerfish and small jacks to large predators like mahi and wahoo.
Jimmy, he's right there. Cast it right by the buoy. We just moved up on another high fly. We're on the fish right now. Jim, that triggerfish just keeps coming off that ball on us, huh?
Yeah, there's been a ton of mahi, and we see one real aggressive triggerfish too that we'd like to get. They're very good eating, a little bit tough to clean, but they are absolutely delicious.
What do you got?
Looks like I got him, Chris.
Look at that, Jim.
There he was. Yeah, triggers are really good fighting fish too. They're not unlike tautog. There he is.
Just go ahead, Jim, and
Hope he stays on there. All right.
look at that. Jimmy, one of the coolest things about coming out here, we get into the warm water, is you never know what you're going to catch.
Yeah, this is a great triggerfish. We spotted him circling one of the lobster pots, and took a couple tries, but we got him to hit a little jig head with some squid on it.
Now, I know there's something like if you try to pull down on it, it will not go like this. You'd break it before you actually released it. But there's a trick to it. Is it down here on the second one? There it is.
Yeah, these fish get their name because you see that top fin, if you wanted it to fold down, I could push all day, and that's not going to go down. But then you see that smaller second fin there, real quick puts it right down, just like a trigger.
That's awesome.
Chris. He said they're right between us.
So we were just about to pull off of the lobster buoy there, and actually Jimmy just spotted a couple just swimming on the surface. Just feed it a little bit of line. We're gonna let him sit down. These fish have been down a little bit deeper, so let's see if I can't drop this guy down. Tight on the back.
On. Yeah, we just put this one in the rod holder to drift. See if you know, the squid down a little bit deeper would do anything, and before we got any on lures, this is the one that went down.
Doubled up.
Oh, you have one on too,
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah.
Oh, good, mine's off the pot.
So we threw the fly line out and just let it sink down because these fish have been down a little bit. Jim's tight on the fish. All right, so we got a little chick in here. I'm gonna try to get this guy in quick. Okay. Beautiful little guy. Normally would hang on to him, but we're gonna toss him back because we got two fish in the back. Jimmy's got one that's a little bit stronger than that one.
Oh, there we go.
That's an eating. That's an eater.
Just landed this guy right here. We've got another one hooked up off the back. We're just leaving him in the water. I'm gonna come back and land him in a second, but he's kind of keeping the school of mahi right around the boat for us.
Yeah, we got one hanging off the back. He's done his job. We're gonna go ahead and bring this guy up. I love this rod, Jimmy, huh?
Oh, it's great.
So much fun. I'm gonna walk him right over to you, Jim.
All right.
There we go, Jim.
Oop, oop.
Okay.
Oh, this guy wanted it.
Easy, easy, buddy. This is about what you can expect out here along these lobster buoys. Although, you know what? I think the state record was one of the Patriots. I wore it.
Yeah, this fish is probably less than a year old. They grow up to 3 feet in their first year, and they really only live 1 or 2 years, so you really shouldn't feel bad about harvesting a few of these to eat.
And we will be taking some home with us for the dinner table, because there's one fish that I love. I don't know what it is. I've always had a soft spot for the mahi. And so this guy's gonna go in the cooler. And for all the fish that we let go, this is one that I don't feel bad about. We had an absolutely tremendous day out here. Jim Fee, Chris Megan snuck out of the office to run 50, 55 miles south of the Vineyard because there's been a great mahi bite all over these high flyers. Jimmy, you hooked up right away. What a great day.
Oh, it was absolutely awesome, Chris. We had it from start to finish.
You know, we left this morning, and it wasn't one of these we had to get out at 4:30 in the morning. We left the harbor at 7 o'clock. We ran about 1 hour and 45 minutes on this tournament contender 25-footer. We only did about 32, 33 miles an hour. We were out here in short order.
Oh yeah, and the first lobster pot we found, Chris, we were right into the mahi.
Guys, if you'd like to learn more about today's show, log on to onthewater.com. And Jimmy Fee, Chris Megan, thanks for tuning in.
With the seas building and the cooler full of mahi, Chris and I headed for the dock, eager to cook up a fresh mahi dinner.